And please bring your hands together at your heart. But this week, we've been exploring the second chakra and some of its inner imperatives for us. Yesterday, we spoke about longing and understanding the unmet needs that may be in our system. And the day before that, we spoke about non-grasping aparigraha, not accumulating or hoarding or sort of building up a residue within the body or within the life. We also practiced understanding apanavayu, the principle of elimination, that which goes downwards and then is released. As we embark on our practice this morning, I do have a small teaching to share with you after we chant. And we'll start with Asatoma Satgamaya. Let's begin. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. May bow your head to your heart. And release your hands when you're ready to, and please open your eyes. So I had a question about the unmet needs, which is understandable, important question. What are the unmet needs? What are some kinds of unmet needs? So if you consider that our three primary needs are expressed at the first and the second chakra, at the first chakra, we have the needs, the primal needs, like very important for the most primitive parts of our brain and our species, and myriads of other species. The two needs there are safety and connection. This is not the same if you are a reptile. You have a need for safety, but not connection. So if you're in the mammal species and other species, we have needs for safety and connection at the first chakra at the base. And then at the second chakra, we have this need for adventure. And that adventure is exploring the world, being able to return to safety and connection. Think of an infant when they're crawling away and then returning back. So exploring and having adventure, creativity, spontaneity, the horizon of what we can explore in the unknown. But at the first chakra, if we don't have our needs for safety and connection met, our ability to navigate fear or anxiety is going to be hampered. So then the adventure of the unknown looks like fear of the unknown, and we may be timid about moving in that direction. And this can be the case for all varieties of this thing called adventure. So there's exploring, There's differentiation, like discovering who we are uniquely from our care providing environment. There's the adventure of the pleasure and the sensuality of life, called kama, K-A-M-A, in Sanskrit. So like feeling that, the beauty, the indulgence of the merging with that pleasure principle. So pleasure, individuation, exploration. And then there's this adventure to discover, well, what is this spiritual longing? I spoke about it yesterday. What is the deepest longing? What is that adventure? To transcend the self, to know the self, and to transcend the self. And that particular adventure we are well suited to here with yoga. Yoga is asking us not to overindulge the pleasure principle, to understand both our individuation and our interdependence, to play with, to explore the unknown frontiers for the purpose of learning, and most deeply to sense this spiritual journey that we come to heal and discover the indwelling wholeness and intimacy with this immensity. So if these are the three primary needs, safety, connection, and adventure, then it goes to say that your other needs kind of bouquet from there. It's like a bouquet of sorts, yeah. All these different subcategories of needs, like a need for reciprocity or mutuality, a need for respect, a need for integrity, a need for freedom, the need for joy, the need for grounding, a need for simplicity. By the way, control is not one of your needs. Control is a strategy trying to meet needs, but it's not one of your primary needs. You might have needs for order or clarity, for example, but not a need for control. So if you think of that bouquet of needs in that array, which of those may be unmet from time to time? And how will you know? You'll have symptoms. That's how you'll know. You'll have symptoms, or your relationships will have symptoms. You will know that you have some unmet needs. So I hope that helps some with the discussion. And what I'd like to do this morning is come up to a standing physical practice to warm up. It's a little bit chillier out here than it has been. And I want to save some time towards the end of our practice this morning for a longer exploration of pranayama. So please rise up to stand. And come to the stance that would be like the width of your yoga mat. Let me change my camera view for you. Okay, so the width of your yoga mat for your feet. And bend your knees. And begin to swing the arms front to back. And let's do fists when the arms go back, and open fingers when the arms come forward. We're going to add a breath to this. That's for the purpose of warming the body from the inside and also releasing any tension. So it's a brisk inhale on the way back and a brisk exhale on the way forward. Five, four, three, two, one. Swing until the arms are still. And now inhale, raise both arms up. And exhale, pour forward and come down. Invite your body to relax. It's okay to bend the knees if that's what your hamstrings need for you to do. Lift your hands to your hips. Please rise up to stand. from your mat width, go toe, heel, out to a horse stance. Bend the knees so you're sitting in the strength of the pelvis like this, like you're riding a horse. And we're going to go side to side. So on this one, try to keep the knees, thighs, and pelvis stable, within a range, and let the fists come around to strike the back of the kidneys and the front where the liver and the spleen are. And in this rotation, of course, it's your own rhythm. You can also alternate on the front side between the spleen and the liver. You can also use the upper chest and the lungs. And that can be helpful if you've had any kind of breathing challenges or maybe some tension from being at your computer or pulling weeds. But you can also stay down at the liver and the spleen. You feel like you need to wake up the organs that support your vitality. Now we're going to start making a very strong exhale. It goes out through the mouth. You blow it like you're blowing out a large candle. And the hand position changes to what's called pushing hands. It goes like this. Five, four, three, two, one. Come to center. Inhale, rise up. Make the feet parallel. And exhale, pour yourself forward and down. And then place your hands on your hips. Rise up to standing and go heel toe out to the jazz dance distance, like this. So point the toes and knees in the same direction as each other, please. Press out from the upper inner thighs to your knees. Yeah. And bring your head in line with your spine. Let's come to the Ujjayi breath now. We've had a couple of kriyas, those means cleansing practices. Notice what happens now with the Ujjayi breath. And can you maintain the Ujjayi breath as you twist to your right? So the sound should be undisturbed. The twist may challenge your breath slightly, but we really want the pathway to be very clear. Rotate to center to go to the other side. And take the Ujjayi breath with you, please. And then rotate to center, press into both heels, rise up to standing, make the feet parallel. Reach back to interlace your fingers, please. Now with the feet parallel, you can be just a tiny bit toed in if you want to. Bring your hips forward in line with your toes. Yeah. You might start feeling the front of the hip flexors right here, having an opening. And then raise up through your chest and your heart. Squeeze the shoulders back. And then begin to gaze up. Now we're going to follow the Ujjayi breath as you exhale, bow forward. Keep the upper inner thighs toned, the inner arches lifted, and your feet grounded. And then inhale and glide forward. And think of the first chakra, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and exhale to bow forward, starting again at the first chakra. You can imagine the chakras or the vertebrae like the beads on a mala, moving smoothly through this action. One more time, please. And of course, you're moving at your own breath pace within your body's rhythm. Place your hands on your hips. And once more, please rise up to standing. One more time, turn the heels in on the toes. So here we're going to use Kapalabhati. So your gaze will be down again. I'm just looking at you. So you can look down towards the floor. So your head's in line with your spine. And in Kapalabhati, I want you to bring attention to the pelvic floor, that it should be stable, not like reacting adversely to each of the exhales. Okay, let's begin. Five, four, three, two, one, exhale. Now push down and inhale, rise up to stand. Make the feet parallel and exhale to come forward and down. And then bring yourself down to kneeling. And again, if kneeling is not possible for you because of any reason, if it's first your hips don't make it all the way to your heels, you can try a blanket between the hips and the heels. If your knees don't want to bend this much, then you can try that same sort of blanket strategy, but it's right up under where the knees meet the thighs. And sometimes you have to come forward to really get that snugged in. And then you may have to add a block to go back. So right now I'm sitting with the blanket right behind my knees. It's snugged up close. And then I've got one block like this under my sitting bones. You also could kneel on 2 blocks, or you could change to a chair, sitting in a chair with a chair in front of you, because we're going to bend forward. So from where you're kneeling, rest one hand in the lap of the other. And drop down into the base of the spine at the pelvic floor. Here we have our needs for safety and connection. So imagining on a day when you feel safe enough and grounded and connected to yourself or to life, to other people, it's probably easier to consider the next adventure need. So up at the second chakra, the next primal need. And on a day when you don't feel you have much in the way of safety and connection, you probably feel apprehensive about adventure rather than courageous. And this is understandable. So down at the base, breathe into the pelvic floor. And let yourself know that you have relatively enough safety and enough connection in this moment, safe enough to be here for yoga practice, connected enough to find your way to the mat and to the community. And then bringing attention to the second chakra, the center for adventure. And see how you might support yourself with this. And now reaching back to interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders open and come into that back bend we were just doing, standing up. If you've elevated yourself with your seat, in other words, the blankets or the block situation, then your knuckles will not likely touch the floor behind you. For everyone, reach the arms straight back, shoulders back, lift the chest and heart. And if you are sitting in such a way as your knuckles can reach the support behind you, go ahead and use it. It's not required to use that support. Yeah, and then exhale and pour yourself forward. Come over your thighs. If your hips are elevated, you may want to elevate the floor so your head is not going to be that much lower than your hips. You can elevate the floor with a block or a blanket. If you're sitting in one chair, coming forward to the other chair, you can still elevate the chair seat if you need to. Just pull the arms straight up towards the ceiling as best as you can. And then inhale, roll up, thinking of the first, second, third, and then up through the chakra system, little back bend. And exhale to roll forward. Raise your arms up towards the ceiling. And once more, inhale, roll up. And exhale to pour forward. And then rise up to your seat. Return to the inner sense of safety and connection. So this is a more stable position, so it reflects those qualities a bit more. The work we were just doing added some instability, some adventure. Now let's reach for 2 blocks, please, and come into your table pose. I'll face to the east. You can do the same in your space there where you are. And let me ask you to have a couple things you can just check and see. If you step back to your mat, no trouble. If you step to the side of your mat, nothing is there. You're not going to run into it. And if you're on your mat, that you can come back. And it's okay if your fingers touch something that's not your mat when you go like this, right? Maybe you don't have a super long mat. So just check those things for me, please. And then place your knees a couple inches behind your hips. And let's inhale to cat pose. Okay, exhale to child's pose. Inhale, roll up to kneeling. Place your hands, come into a back bend. Exhale, pour yourself forward. Child's pose. Inhale to cat. Cow pose. Raise your right arm. Inhale. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, raise your left arm. Exhale, cat pose. Now inhale, child's pose. Exhale, tone the low belly, roll yourself up, back bend. Breathe in. And exhale, pour yourself forward, child's pose. Inhale, cat. This time straight away, exhale, right arm up, cow pose. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, left arm forward and up. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, right knee up to your right elbow. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, left knee up. Inhale to cat. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale, forward to seal pose. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale, right toes to the right. Exhale, plank. Inhale, left toes. Plank pose. Right. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. And then exhale, curl up over the toes, lower your knees down. Walk your hands back to your thighs and come to the toe stretch pose like this. I think some of you know I don't have flexible toes. It's a big stretch. So the basic infrastructure of what we're doing, you know, we're going to add to that and improvise. So when the hands come now forward to the two blocks, this is your basic quadruped position. Let's inhale to cat pose, please. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, rise up into your back bend. Place the hands behind you. Now exhale, raise the hips up. Inhale. And then exhale, hips down, chest and heart forward, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, right arm forward, cow pose. Inhale, cat pose. Left knee to your elbow. Inhale, cat. Exhale, left arm forward, cow pose. Inhale to cat. Right knee to your right elbow. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, left arm, right leg stretching out. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale, right arm, left leg. It's called bird dog pose. Inhale to cat. Exhale, left arm, right leg. Inhale to cat. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Inhale to cat. And exhale, cow pose. Inhale to seal pose. Plank pose. Inhale, right toes right. Exhale to center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Downward facing dog. And step forward. Uttanasana. Hands to your hips, rise up to stand. Mountain pose. So there in that practice, you had a lot of opportunity for safety, stability, cohesion, and then adventure, stepping into some unknowns. Nothing too extraordinary. Notice what's happening in mountain pose now. And then prepare for Surya Namaskar, please. Place your hands at your heart and use the blocks for support. We're going to use them in triangle pose this morning. Just join your hands together at your heart. We're going to inhale, sweep the hands down. Ujjayi breath, rise up. Exhale to chair pose. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Left toes back, basic lunge. Inhale to rise, crescent. Exhale, descend slowly. Cut your fingertips to the blocks. Inhale, straighten both legs. And exhale, pivot your back heel to the floor as you bow over your right leg. Now, placing your palms firmly on the two blocks, inhale your spine to cat pose. Exhale your spine to cow pose. Inhale to cat. Exhale to cow pose. Once more, inhale to cat. Notice the deep inner belly. And exhale to cow pose. Bend your right knee and step backwards, downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot forward, keep the right toes grounded, and inhale, rise up to your crescent. Exhale, arms wide, come forward and lightly touch the blocks at first. Let's inhale, straighten both legs. And as you exhale, pivot your right heel to the floor and bow over your left thigh. Now placing the blocks right beneath your shoulders. Inhale to your cat pose spine. Root your tailbone down and feel into the right lower back. Exhale, cow pose spine. Bring your heart forward. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Once more, inhale to the cat pose spine. Exhale, cow pose spine. Place your hands on blocks where you need them to be to step into downward facing dog pose. And then exhale, one foot forward, second foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to the heart. Going straight away, inhale, upward hand pose. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up, look up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Left toes back. Reach back to clasp your hands, please. Inhale, rise up, crescent with the arms and hands behind you. And exhale, bow over your right leg. Keep the back leg strong, including your left butt. Inhale, rise up to your crescent, hands behind you. And exhale, glide forward. Bow over your right thigh. Okay, touching down. Inhale, straighten both legs again. Now, as you pivot your left heel to the floor, this time I'd like you to take the block under your right hand and make it tall, and the block under your left hand, make it small. So they're uneven. And then as you inhale to cat pose, feel into this sort of discrepancy between the quadrants of the back. That is upper right, upper left, lower right, and lower left. And then exhale, try to come into cow pose. Your spine is going to feel a little unusual. And if you already have scoliosis as a pattern in your body, no need to increase it. We're using this asymmetrical pattern right now to give some freshness or exploration into the spine. But if you already know that this kind of position is deepening a trend for scoliosis in your body, then you don't need to exaggerate that. Okay, now the next time that you come to cow pose, rise up on your fingertips on both blocks. And then inhale, raise your left arm forward. Now exhale to a cat pose spine. Lower the left arm. And inhale, open to Trikonasana. Take a little stronger side bend into the left hemisphere of the body. So press firmly down into your right fingertips. Energize your left outer hip, outer thigh. So we're not really asking the hips to hula to the left here. Rather the left side waist to be like an arc in the sky. So see if you can come to your cat pose spine where the right arm's going to stay strong. You can bring your torso towards the floor. The left arm will dangle like an elephant trunk. Then inhale to the cow pose spine again. Raise your left arm forward. Exhale to the cat pose spine. Press down firmly into your right arm. Use your legs for stability. And then open to your left, triangle pose. And C-curve pose. And the cat pose. Cow pose, left arm forward. Cat pose, left arm down. Left arm wide as you come up to Trikonasana. And one more time into the C-curve. Thank you for following. You're doing so beautifully. And let's release it down thoughtfully. Make the two blocks symmetrical, bend your front knee. And let's step backwards to downward dog pose. Now left foot forward, right toes back behind you. Reach back to interlace your fingers, please. Inhale, rise up to your crescent. Exhale, bow over your left leg. Inhale, rise to your crescent, of course, at your own breath pace. Keep the left leg really stable. So one of the words you might use in the physical body is stability. In terms of the need for safety, there's a need for stability. Let's lower the fingertips down to the blocks and make the left one tall and the right one flat. Please straighten both legs. And you can use flat palms for this part of the sequence. So on the inhale, we go to the cat pose spine, undulate the spine. It's going to feel unusual, I know. And then exhale to cow pose spine. Keeping the elbows straight, inhale to your cat pose spine. Exhale to cow pose. You are probably getting information about some asymmetries in your body. maybe places where you have difficulty with small vertebral rotation, or places where you don't have good flexion or extension right now. Let's do it one more time to the cat pose. And then step up to your fingertips here. And as you next inhale, glide your right arm forward, cow pose spine. And then exhale, cat pose spine. Let the right arm dangle down like an elephant trunk. And inhale, open to your right, Trikonasana. Make the seat curve. Press down through your left arm, broaden the right side of your waist, tone the right outer hip and butt. And then exhale, roll down like you're going to your cat pose spine. Keep the left arm straight. Inhale, reach forward, cow pose spine. Exhale, cat pose spine. Inhale, open to your right. Exhale, side bend to the left. Breathe into your side bend. Exhale to your cat pose spine. Once more, inhale, reach forward, cow pose spine. Exhale, cat pose spine. Notice the legs are a source of your stability here too. Inhale, open to your right. And exhale, side bend to the left. Breathe into your side bend. And exhale, roll down thoughtfully. Place your fingertips, make the blocks symmetrical once again, and step backwards, downward facing dog. And then roll forward and down to Vajrasana, come to kneeling. Or your version of kneeling. Right. Place your hands one in the lap of the other. One of the great adventures that comes from yoga is just having like vitality, unhindered vitality, feeling like, whoa, we don't have to be so dull. We need not feel apathetic. Notice what it's like to come back home, back to home base, something more consolidated like Vajrasana. And then please transition. We're going to do Shavasana so we have time for some pranayama that supports your meditation. So I'd like you to transition onto your back, please. You can have a rustic Shavasana, or you can support your Shavasana in any way that you need to. Like I said, it's chilly out here this morning, so I'm going to put my blankets to support. Yeah, and so when you lie back, return your attention to this fundamental safe enough condition. In other words, you're safe enough to be here for class. You had enough inherent safety in your life, enough stability, enough cohesion, enough groundedness to be here. In the realm of connection, you also had enough connection to arrive here, and you knew how to connect, to establish that need for connection. Let yourself soak that in. Allow your mind and your body both to rest deeply. Some inner confidence that you have enough safety, enough connection to be here, and that you're deepening both of those experiences as well. Allow the process to continue, deepening an inherent sense of safety, an inherent sense of connection, really interconnection. Rest for another minute or so. Allow it to go deeper yet again. As needed, encourage your mind to keep coming back. Stay in your Shavasana. And welcoming just a slightly deeper breath in. Remind yourself that the power of this practice is going to stay with you. And there are layers of our practice, meditation being actually the most important. You've had a short Shavasana, maybe 8 or 9 minutes or so. And I am going to request that you come up to your seat for a pranayama practice that can lead us to meditation. So we'll use the chanting at the first and the second chakra, and then we're going to use that silently to pace the pranayama that we'll do together. So this is lam and then wam. Lam at the base, wam at the second chakra. It's 5 times, and we do that 5 times. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lum, 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 lum. Coming up to the second chakra. Wum, 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 wum. Wum, 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 Rest in the quiet that comes. Then bring the right hand up for Nadi Shodhana. When you inhale, inhale listening to the sound of lum, the silent version of what you were just doing. When you exhale, listen to the silent version of wum. So inhale left, exhale right, inhale right, exhale left. That's the pattern. It's an upside down V shape or a mountain shape. You inhale to go to the top and you exhale to release back to the bottom of the shape. Begin with the left side, please. You may complete that with the next exhale through the left nostril. And then please sit in silence. Placing in the center of your palms some intention you can carry out for safety, connection, but also enhancing that sense of safety for your community, a sense of connection in your community. Also notice your capacity right now to consider the welfare of people beyond your network, beyond your sphere. May they too have enough safety and connection. You can inhale, raise this up to the heart, please. Exhale, place that in your heart. Bring it into your Anjali Mudra. Place it in your vision. Bring it back to the heart. We extend it as an offering to each other. We're also receiving from each other. And so you can imagine we were sitting in a big circle, making our offering and then also receiving from each other. Bring that back to your Anjali Mudra. Place that in your heart and bring that back down to the root.